Hold on, guys. Wanted to make a quick video for you, and give you a free gift here. Uh, I have a weekly metric tracking sheet for lawn care landscaping businesses. It's kind of based on something that we get inside of Augusta. We did a pretty fancy sheet, all branded and everything, but uh, I know not everybody has the privilege of being inside of Augusta, so figured I'd make something for you guys, so you guys can, track things on a week-to-week basis and make sure you're winning in 2026. So, yeah, let's jump into it here. I'm not going to go through everything here. If you want this, there's a school link in my description where you can go and grab it. There's also a video explanation that I'll be making on that should be with the sheet. So you can download that. Just go to the link in the description. Join. There'll be other free gifts in there as well. So yeah, of course, just like whatever the date range is, starting at the top, working down revenue goal and profit goal for the month. I think it's important to keep track of both. Um, you know, on a separate sheet somewhere else, Excel sheet where you're kind of mapping out the year. I would have a target for what your yearly revenue is, but kind of in a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, you want to make sure that you're staying on track for at least the month. Sometimes it gets kind of hard to see a year out. So that's kind of what we're doing here is just making sure that the next 4 weeks are getting handled. Um, you'll notice there's kind of three categories, financial KPIs, customer KPIs, and team KPIs. The hiring situation goes with the team as well. And then kind of just a review, action plan. What are we going to do to work on um, the worst section, basically. So in each of those, I've identified kind of one of the most important KPIs. I think that like if there's one thing that is going to make or break the business, it might be that. Those are the bolded ones, but of course, all the things on here are pretty important. And then, like I said, plenty of room to write other things if you want to track other KPIs and see how they're trending week to week. So, cash in the bank, revenue, of course, important. We want to know how much we're spending on marketing. If you don't know what asset, labor, or personal capacity are, I'll also link this video in the description. Video by Mike Andes. Check it out, where he talks about those three things and how they'll kind of determine what the location should be doing. Team KPIs, so like how much of the revenue that you brought in are you paying out in labor? Very important. The labor is the biggest cost for lawn care landscaping companies. What's your team's efficiency score? So if you don't have a very standard way of bidding jobs, like a targeted dollar per hour that you want to be using, and you're not really tracking budgeted hours well, um, the efficiency score and the labor revenue might not match exactly. Uh, Additionally, if you do multiple different services, like if you do hardscaping, lots of projects, treatments, you might be billing at a different hourly rate. So in total, what's the company bringing in per hour on average that our guys are working? Um, the efficiency score, callbacks, of course, right? Things in red are kind of like things that didn't go so well. Things in yellow, definitely not great as well. Green, pretty good. Um, so callbacks, we definitely want to avoid that. Weeks 1 through 4 there, that is just kind of going to give you an overview of what's going to happen the next 4 weeks. Like how much work do we have? And that way you can make sure, if you're pretty booked this week, next week, and the following week, that like week +3, you don't want to get there and then realize you have no work for your team and you have to lay off half your guys, right? Because week 3, 4, and beyond, there's just nothing, right? Um, or in the opposite, if you're growing in the spring, this is a very common problem I see with guys, especially under 500, $800,000 a year, is like failing to overhire in the spring. So if you're already at what your labor and asset capacity should be, going into the next couple weeks, and you're still in the middle of spring rush, you're definitely going to go on and be picking up customers, hopefully. So that's going to continue to increase the workload. So you need to start hiring now so that you can be prepared for what your customer count looks like in 4 weeks from now. Hiring situation, just to write some notes like good applicants. Do we need to hire? Are we not hiring? This is not even always hiring, but potentially firing situation. So, do we need to get rid of somebody? Do we need to replace them? Um, Customer KPIs, right? For customers, just how many recurring customers we have gained and lost, estimates we're sending versus close ratio, right? And then overall, what went well, what didn't go well. Um, from that, you should be able to kind of see how the entire week went. You should be able to see anything that's outlined, and then address the current constraint and form an action plan. For us personally, in our locations, we don't write 3, 4, 5 things that we're going to do in the action plan. Really, it's meant to be like 1 or 2 items down here. Um, put 1 to 2 things that you want to do over the next 7 days until you fill this out again. Um, and make sure that that gets done. If you do one solid thing every week of the year, 52 weeks a year, you will make a lot of progress. When you put 3, 4, 5 things on here, it's when nothing gets done, and you have a lot of half-baked projects, and then you don't make much progress. So we really want one thing that we're going to work on fixing the next week, whether it's the hiring situation, whether the work's dropping off, whether we need to go get a new truck if you're growing so well that guys are keeping up with work, but you can still add more customers here in the spring. Put that on there. Like, how are we going to do that? How are we going to fix what did not go well? It could be a lot of different things. Close ratio, too low, too high. Should we raise prices, lower prices? All that good stuff. So hit the link in the description. Grab this for yourself. I recommend just grabbing a binder, printing these out, filling them out, and keeping track of them. That way you can also look back at them next year and you can kind of see and remember what went on throughout the year. That way you can plan accordingly, get staffed up, know the seasonal demands, all that good stuff. So a lot of these overs you should just be able to pull from your bank account, CRM, different things like that. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments or put them in that school group. And if you don't know, asset labor personal capacity, check out Mike's video on that, link in the description as well.